Hello everyone, can you all hear me? Am I audible to all of you? Awesome. Good evening everyone. So I hope all of you can hear me well and see me well. Awesome. So we have around 30 people. Let's just wait for one more minute and see if somebody else joins soon. Okay. So how many of you tried the previous assignment? Good evening Siddharth. Good evening all of you. Yogeshwar, Manish. Okay. So do you all have classes on Saturdays, or like you people are free on Saturdays? Free. Anurag says free. Okay, some of you have remedial classes. Okay. Awesome. Christy says some of we have remedial. Okay. Got it. So, how many of you are from November Elitex batch and how many of you are from the September Elitex? Let me just launch a quick poll. Okay, so I have just launched a poll to see where you all, which batch you all are from. So it looks like 50-50 distribution. That's awesome. Okay, Pratik is saying, sir, could you please recap what all you taught in the previous session? Okay, Pratik, I'll briefly do a recap and then we will be starting. Awesome. So we have 37 people joined us now. I think I'll just launch a few quizzes to, launch a few polls to know your status of assignment and how many of you have understood the things so far. So basically, yes, it would be great if you can be a little bit slow. So I'll just launch a poll for that as well. So how many of you feel that the pace is a little fast? So I'll launch a poll for that. So I'll keep only two options. Either it is fast or it is slow. Okay, everybody please respond. That's a good question, Yogeshwar. I'll take that up later. A little bit fast according to me. Okay. Jayan says it's moderate. Okay, and just to know a little bit more about each of you, can you all just type in which part of the country, like which state or which city you all are from, just to know where all you are coming from? So I just don't know much about all of you. Okay, so I'll go one by one. I'll see the responses. You can send it to me in private or public. Like if you want everybody else to know, that's good. Like you can make some new friends who live close by. Okay. Let's see where most of you are from. We have two people from Kerala. They look like in the same college. Most of you seems we have 3 to 4 people from West Bengal also. Okay, looks like now Ayush has got somebody who's from the same region. So that's good. Like you can make some friends also who live nearby. Anshika is from Pune. Okay. Yogeshwar is from Chennai. Siddharth is from Indore. Ayush Kerala. Isha is from Delhi. Snail from UP. Okay. So I'm from Bhiwani, Haryana. So basically, it's near Hisar. If you have heard about it, Hisar or Rohtak. Okay. And just like what all you do on your holidays, like do you watch any TV series or anything? Does anybody here watches Marvel, uh, like the Avengers movies? Is anybody watching WandaVision at the moment? Like that TV series is going on, right? Which episode came today? Okay, Marvel fan. We have a lot of people. Devender, I think changing the password of your get EA credentials should not cause the evaluation to fail on our backend. So I think mm, just let me know if your evaluation is not being triggered in the assignment. There might be a syntax error in your code. Anurag does OpenCV and game dev when he is free. Great. So if anybody wants to learn game development, you can just ping Anurag. Okay, Devinder, just let me know if it's not being triggered. Fine. So, so I hope everybody is doing well. So we can get started with the session, or anything else you people want. Any games you all play? COD, Shineth, Valorant, Warzone. Okay. Among Us. Isha says life. Which game is that? Is there a game? I did not get you, Isha. Aryan says sleep. Sleep is a game for me. Okay. Awesome, awesome. Code is the game for me, Yogeshwar. Awesome. So now, since we have all 39 people, almost everybody, so let's just know how you all are doing in the assignment. So I will launch a short poll for you. So just to check how many of you have solved the assignment. Out of these 40 people, how many of you have solved the assignment? First assignment. Hmm. So everyone, I want all 39 people to respond. Otherwise, we will not start the session. So we'll wait until all of you respond. So everybody, please give your response. Like it's not good enough that you people are not responding, right? Because see, if you don't attempt the assignment, then there is no point in we continuing the session, right? So if see, development is the basic agenda of learning development is it's not that you will learn development by watching me writing code over here. So you will have to write code and then you will understand how things are happening, right? So can all of you promise that you will be attempting your assignment, all the first assignment and next assignment? Like if you don't do that, then there's no point. We can stop right here and end the session, right? So because the assignment was just based on what we discussed in the class, right? So those of you who solved it, can you please rate the assignment easy, medium, hard? Like those of you who solved it, can you please type in the chat that based on what we discussed in the class, can you solve it? Okay. So it looks like all of you say it's easy. And like it's based on what we discuss in the class. If you don't follow that, then you will not be able to complete. And if you need any help, you can just ask in the group. You can just do a direct message to me on Scalar chat to any of your friends. So basically, those of you who are stuck in the assignment, you can just DM me on Scalar chat I'm free the next 2 days. I'll try to definitely help you if you face any issues. Okay. Yes. So if you feel the pace is little fast, that's why like I am taking time today. We will go slow from this session. I have understood that some of you are facing issues with the pace. Okay. So I will also want to know what issues are you facing. So I will launch a quick poll. So to understand why you are not able to attempt the assignment. Okay. Since 59% could not attempt, please all of you respond why are you not able to attempt, so that we can like solve your concerns. We can try to mitigate whatever is possible from our side. Okay. Roshan, those of you who have solved it, you can skip this poll. Those of you who have solved it, you can skip this poll. So everybody please respond. Like we got 59% of the people. That means around 24 people. So around 24 people. Once we get all the 24 responses, then only we will start the session. Like we want to know why you are not able to attempt the assignment, so that we can solve this problem of yours, right? Because otherwise you won't be able to learn what we are discussing. Okay, it seems like most of you say 35% of you are saying you did not find the time to solve it. Okay. So I just want to know that since you all will be free the next 2 days, will you all be able to complete those who could not? Like, otherwise, let's stop this session here itself. Can you all maybe type that you will be able to complete the assignment, all of you? Okay. Still, we got only half of the people responding. Hmm. Okay, awesome. So, Yogeshwar, I'll answer that. So now let's all get started with the positive mood. So I hope that you did not mind like whatever I told. So it was just that if you don't do this, then you will never learn development. So you can learn web development only when you start doing it. Before that, you will not be able to, like, even if you watch the video 10 times, you will not be able to make any web app unless you start. Only the starting will be the hardest part, right? Yes, Pratik, I got your question. So I will start now. So we are all warmed up now. And if anybody wants anything to say before we start, any questions, any queries, concerns, anything. Okay, so let's get started. So I will share my screen. Yes, I get your point. Shreyas is saying it takes some time to understand. It would, if one more day time would have been given, we would have been able to complete. Okay, got the point, Shreyas. So like I'll go slow from this session. So in today's session, we'll learn just one concept and there will be an interesting assignment based on that concept. Okay. So can you all hear me fine? Awesome, awesome. So Ayan is giving a suggestion. Just let me change the settings of screen share. Hmm. So anyone has any suggestions also, that are also welcome before we start. So Ayan has given a suggestion: after teaching a pointer every 30 minutes, please give some time to try. So Ayan, what I'm saying, you might not be able to try as we discuss. So better you write some important points on paper, and after the class you can read the notes and then try. Okay. Does that look fine? Anyone else has any suggestions? Okay. So with that, then let's get started. Hmm. If you don't see the screen, please let me know. Okay, I think you are able to see the screen. Hazy, blur. Okay, you all are saying it's blur. If I zoom the screen, does that make it any better? Not clear. Okay, so just let me do one thing. Difficult to get. Okay, so I'll do one thing. So can you all give me 2 minutes? I will try and change the connection and see if that works any better. Yeah, thank you, Shreya, Manish. Okay, so I just request 2 minutes from all of you. So can all of you hear me now and see me properly? Okay, got it, Ayan. So I'll convey this to them, and we'll try to organize such a session very soon. Okay, Sambit, I'll take that question later. Let me share my screen now. And let me know if it's visible now. Are you able to see the screen? Any better? Okay, I'll wait for your responses. Screen share. I'll do one thing. I'll turn my video off for a moment. So can you all see the screen now? Same blur, hazy. Okay, so maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to then different laptop. So just one more minute. I have it ready with me. Got it. So just give me one more minute. Okay, I thought I would be using this Windows operating system, just so that most of you are using this. So with 1 minute, we will be starting. Can you all hear me now? I'll share my screen right away and let you know if you can see the screen. It seems like I'll have to change the connection here as well. But let me see if it works. Okay. So now all of you please respond if you can see the screen properly. It's fine now. Awesome. Yeah. So finally we are good to start. Okay. So we will start with this brief recap. So just let me take 1 more minute. Voice is cracking. Interesting. So I'll do one more thing and then we will start. Fine. Can you all see the screen, hear me, and everything is fine? All perfect. Anybody facing any issues in seeing the screen or anything? Okay. So now we are good to go. We will just start with a brief recap of what we did in our first project. So first of all, we created a new project and a new application. For this, we used commands like Django admin, start project, and then we gave the name of the project. Okay. After this, basically, we also created a new app by saying Python 3 or Python manage.py, start app, and then the name of the app. Okay. Finally, after this, we came to understand how we can run our server. So for that, we simply said Python manage.py run server. Then we saw how we can map a particular URL to go to a particular view. So what we did, Pratik, see, we created this project, first project. Inside this, we had our first tab, and then this again is a directory storing the URLs for the project. So we defined a URL that would go to first app's URLs, right? So we had to use the include statement to simply include the URLs from a given app, right? And then if we go inside first app URLs, we can see that for the index page, go to the from dot import the views. So in the views, check the index function and render that. So that will get the request. So if we go inside this, it gets the request and now it will return the response. That is HTTP response gets rendered. So just these three files you have to see, right? URLs of the project, of the app, and the views. So if we now run the app, so if we now say, let's first go inside the first project. Okay. And then if I say Python manage.py run server, in your case, it might be just Python. You have to type. Since in Windows, it automatically converts it. Now, if you see, you can ignore this error message. This we will be seeing in the class where we discuss about the Django models. Then you can go here and you will be able to see hello world right in front of you, right? So that's how it's happening. I'll just repeat once more if it's not clear. So what we did, we simply created urls.py of project. Inside that we included urls.py, included the URLs of the app. And then in the app, we simply defined a path to go to a particular view. Okay. So what a view does is it simply takes request as input and returns the HTTP response. It could be HTML, it could be text, it could be any some other format also, right? And finally, we also discussed about some dynamic routes. Like let's say we want to go to slash app slash, let's say your username. So we can define a dynamic route in that case that will simply take this also as the parameter in the view. So the view method will now take request and the username, right? So for example, let's say you are building a portfolio app where you want to showcase your projects. So you might want to go into a particular project. So you might have two URLs. One is like this. One could be like slash project slash the ID of the project. So like slash project slash one should show the details of the first project. Slash project slash two should show the details of the second project and so on. So does this make sense? Some noise is coming. Okay, just give me one moment. So I hope it's fine now and you are able to understand till this point. Okay, so it is only a brief recap of what we discussed. So I will try and run the previous app for you. So we also made slash app. I think we made slash first app. Okay. And then like it was printing whatever the username was. Okay. We made a about page. No, we made, let's say we made a scalar page. No, I don't remember what all we made. So if we go to URLs of the first tab, we see we made a about page. That was, okay, slash about. It's not working. About uh, slash 11 we made, right? Slash me. Okay. This is simply mapping the username. So views dot about me. It seems like we do not have the view. We have the views dot about me. Hmm. In that case, why it should not be working? Hmm. Fine. So it says that it does not match anything. So let's try to debug this. Maybe if we just do here, it's not matching any of the paths. So we have included first app's URLs. Here we have this views dot about. Hmm. So. Hmm. Let me try to do one thing. Let me try to remove these two URLs for the time being and then see what happens. Hmm. Slash first tab, you people are saying. Slash about me, Isha is saying. No, no, no. Its name is about me. That name is just used as a variable, right? So let us try in this sense. So let's try to debug this later. It seems like there is something that I've changed in this, but that was generally what we did. The slash after is automatic and that is causing the error, right? I also felt that, but for that what I can do is I can keep about here and now it should work. Okay, yes, so Shreya was the first one to figure that out. That's awesome. So we can just put about and then slash and then it would work, right? So make sure you are putting this slash keyword in all your path URLs, otherwise it can cause issues. So this is the first learning from the today's session. So keep slash at the end of the path. Fine. So till now we have discussed some basic mapping of the views in the URLs, right? Let us today discuss something that you all see in real world projects. Okay. So let us say that you go to a URL like let's say facebook.com/ your username. There you will see your personal profile, which will have your own photo, which you will have your own name, your own about me page, about me section, right? So basically, wherever that page is written, the HTML or the any file is written, will that be written for all the users? Like, will we have a separate file for all the users that are there in the database, or will we have one file where we will be inserting the name and the like of picture and the about me section? What do you think? Right, we will be having one template. So it's the template is like you must have seen the uh, let's say if you want to send mails to so many users at once and you want to insert their name only in between, so there are softwares that allow you to do that, right? You just can keep your name as the variable and the email as the variable corresponding to that particular name, right? Yes. So basically templates allow you to reuse some functionality again and again. So that saves a lot of time and lot of coding effort, right? So it is the most powerful functionality in Django so that you can reuse a lot of code in your Django application. So today we will learn about how this templates work. So we have seen what is a template. So basically it is a file that where we can insert any dynamic content, right? So the name, username, picture, all that we are saying is a dynamic content that we can insert. Now, why do we need it? To save time, right? To save time and effort, we need templates. Otherwise, we will keep on copy pasting a lot of code, right? And how we can do this? So the Django itself allows us, it gives us a Django template language, which we will today see what this template language is, how you can insert variables, how you can write loops in it, how you can write conditions, how you can basically implement them, connect them, and that is what basically we will learn, and we will build a small application that will be your portfolio type app where you will be able to show all of your projects, and those projects will not be hard coded in your application. Those will be passed from the server to your application. So even if you have a database, you can fetch them from a given database, right? So basically, I will also do one more thing. I'll show you a simple, your assignment for today. So I will also show you a simple assignment that you will be making after this as a homework. So you will have to create some app like this. This will be your assignment for today, where you will be showing some playlist. So it will be kind of a music project where you will be showing some playlists which will be fetched from the backend, from the server. And then in each playlist, when you click on this first one, you will be able to see the songs in that playlist, right? And when you click on second one, you will be able to see the songs in that second one. All of this data will be fetched from the backend. We will not be using database in today's session. Today's session will be assigning the value to the variable manually in the backend code, Roshan. Yes, something like that only, Isha. Okay. So now you have got the idea of what you will have to do also, and what templates are and why we need them. Okay. So there are a lot of things that come involved here. So to save time and effort, and also to insert any dynamic content. Okay, so that just goes into the what part. Okay. So now see how you can define a variable in a template. So first I will just show you some syntax, and then we will build the application. Is that good enough? First we see some syntax and then we build the application. So how do you all want to do this? So wait, before going ahead, I would just like all of you to summarize what a template is. So I want all of you to summarize what a template is so that I know you have understood it. Or I will launch a quick poll. So I will launch a quiz in that case. Okay, so looks like all of you got it, but some of you still answered incorrectly. Anurag is asking, can we make a second project folder for today? Right, so yeah, you can make it. I have already created one, but I have named it differently. Okay, I did not create it. I'll also create it. So let's do this. But before that, yes, all of you are correct. Pretty interested, right? So first, let's see how we will be able to use this Django template language. Like what all will be part of it. So any programming language has certain variables, has certain loops. So it would be like you can write loops inside your HTML file, something of that sort. You will be mixing some programming constructs in the HTML file itself. and then that will be rendered finally. So basically, like you have so many projects in your app that you want to show. So you will be having a single loop over all your projects, and those projects data will be coming from the backend, right? So this is how a variable will be represented. So variable is like the variable is just as in any programming language whose value gets replaced with the variable's value. Okay, so basically with the value when template is rendered, right? So that's how you can write a variable, like inside these curly braces, two curly braces opening and two curly braces closing. Here you can give the name of the variable, right? Then you have certain tags and certain loops. So basically, for example, if you want to write a loop will be basically a tag here. It will be a kind of a tag like the HTML tags. So a variable is different from tag in the sense that this will get evaluated. This will not get rendered like a variable. So I will write it. So variable will get rendered, whereas this tag will get evaluated. That simply means the tag will not be replaced by anything. It will simply be run as a piece of code, right? As a piece of programming logic. It could be a if condition. It could be a loop. No, it's not static. There will be dynamic content inside this tag. So inside this tag, for example, there could be if tag that is simply a conditional, right? So this is how you can define tags here. It will be clear once we implement this. Okay. And this is how you can define a loop. So what you can say, loop is a kind of a tag. So some tags will have ending tags like in HTML. So it's very similar to HTML, just that there is this variable concept that gets introduced over here. Now in a loop, you can simply say for some element in some list, right? So this for loop will now get evaluated and whatever is this element will get rendered, right? So here we have both tags and the variables as well, right? So it is tag plus variables. Right? So tag gets evaluated and variable gets rendered, right? So does it make some sort of sense? I will pause and see whether you got some intuitive idea. So the tags simply control the logic of the template. It could be a loop, could be a conditional, etc. Right? So only a few of you are reacting with yes, like any intuition you have sort of built. Yes, it will be little confusing. Once we implement it, it will be clear. But any intuitive idea, okay. Evaluated means like, see, if I write a Python file, I will simply have, let's say, a variable list L is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a variable. Then you will say for element in L, then you can say simply print element. So now this loop is what is controlling the logic, right? So this loop is the logic, and this print statement is the actual thing that gets printed, right? Actual output. So this is like the tag here. This loop is like the tag. And this print statement is like the variable. Okay. HTML with the hint of Python too, right? Inside HTML, you will be able to write some sort of logic that will help you render dynamic content. Okay, so now you got some sort of idea. I will simply add that part here so that it does not get missed in your final notes that get uploaded. So after every session, I upload the notes. How many of you get a chance to review them? React to the yes. Okay. So two people saying yes. I'll stop then this thing. Okay, and that is very good if you are doing that, Tisha. Fine. So similarly, like we can have if conditions. So very similar to the loops, you can have if conditions, right? So now we know about some of these things. Now let us finally see how we will be building the application, how we will be using the templates. So what I'm going to do right now, I'll go inside this project. I will create a new app. So how many of you are now comfortable running the shell commands? So now do you see why we had a session on shell commands? Just because you will use this in development a lot more than anything else, right? Without terminal, you cannot do development, right? So these are some of the basic commands like cd, ls, and maybe cp for copying, mv for moving the items, right? Cd dot dot, and make sure you use the hints that the terminal provides. Like whenever you say something, like if I say DJ, I can press a tab. So that tab will simply autofill the remaining portion. I have seen many students do not know this trick. And one more trick I will show you. So anybody wants to know about one more cool trick? It doesn't work over bash. Oh, okay. So, so, so if you want to go to the first character, let's say you want to change this command, you simply typed it by mistakenly cdt. So now will you press this back and go back and then you will change d, or there is a shortcut? So there is a shortcut here. You can simply press Control A. If you press Control A, it will take you to the first character. It works in Linux and Mac. I'm not sure if it works in Windows. You just press Control A. It will take you to front, then go right, and then simply do this. Now you can hit a enter, right? So you can go to the first character by pressing CTRL plus A. And similarly, you can go to the last character. Let us say I do CD Django, and now I want to go to the last character. I get back, but I want to go to the last. So we can do Control plus E. We can do Control plus E. Okay. Yes. So we'll learn such cool tricks, Srinid. That's great. Install in VS Code to get. There is nothing to be installed over here. Yes, I'll show the notes once again. So we have just written what a loop is, what a tag is, what a variable is. Like we have just seen the syntax of the Django templates language. Now that we have seen some theory, now we want to implement this by building a portfolio of our projects. So all good to go. So Ayan, I am using the ZSH shell, right? I am using the ZSH shell. You can try Google it and try to install it. That shows all these things. Okay, so I will go back, hit ls, clear my screen. Now we will start, yeah, exactly. Now we will start a new project. So I will simply say Django admin, start project. Let us say a portfolio project. It's going to list all our projects. So you see this has been created for me, right? Now we can go inside this. Okay, good enough. Now what we will do, we will create an app. To create an app, we have to say Python manage.py start app, and we are going to name this as app. Name this app as my projects. Okay, so we want to show my projects here. Now my projects has been created. Now let us first do a simple hello world to see if all of this is working. So I will go inside this first project, sorry, my project portfolio and URLs py. I will simply add a URL. I'll say path at empty location. Go to include first app, or sorry, we need to name the app, that is my projects dot URLs, and we'll do a comma, and then we will import this also from the Django URLs, right? And then we will go inside the my projects. We will create a new file, that is urls.py. How do we create a new file from the terminal? Yes, Roshan, we also have to include the right, Devinder, Isha, not mkdir ion, that is for making a directory. Yes, we will add this. Now we can say here URL patterns is equal to, let us say, path at empty location, go to the views.index and name this as index. Okay, and then let us say that from dot import views, we want the views to be imported from this my project, right? And let us define the index view here. So we can say def index. It takes the request and it will simply returns HTTP response of, let's say, hello world. So it also gives you a brief recap of what we discussed. It should be written, not returns. And we need to import this hello HTTP response. So for that, we can simply, let's look how we imported it in the first project. We simply said from django.http import HTTP response. So if you want to know how do we import a particular method, what will you do? Sorry, there is no semicolon. You will simply Google it. So let's say how to import HTTP response Django. And then you will see that you get to this documentation. So make sure you use this documentation to the fullest. You can see from django.http import HTTP response, right? So you will have to read a lot more documentation as you become a developer, right? So as a software developer, like most of your time will go in two things. First, in reading documentation, and second, can anyone guess? Finding bugs, right? In testing code or finding the bugs, right? Coding will take the least amount of time in all of these. So no, it should not be crying to solve them. It should be like kind of being a detective to find the bug and solve it. Okay. So now let us try to run this app. So currently it's not running. I will simply say go inside. Let me print where I am. I'm inside the portfolio project. I will say Python manage py run server. Now it says that path is not defined, right? In this line. So to debug this, we have to go here and we have to see. So also make sure you try to debug by seeing the error messages, right? So in error message, it's not that you have to read everything. You just see where exactly it stopped. It stopped at here. So let's go here and see what is the issue. We can control click here to see this file. So we have to import this path as well, right? So we have to say from Django URLs import path, right? Now if you save it, it will work fine. This unapplied migrations error you can ignore. Now let us go here. It shows hello world, right? So we are at a first step. First step is done. We have started the server and we have started the project. Now what we want to learn? We want to learn templates, right? So we want to make, what do we want to make? Which kind of app? What we will be displaying? Yes, Vadai, Hoisha says. Okay. So we are making this simple portfolio app. So what we will be doing now, we will be making a variable. Let's say inside this, I define my projects. So let us say, I'll say, these are my projects. I have a list, and inside this project, I will just make a dictionary. So in Python, we can give this a dictionary. I'll have ID associated with any of my projects. Let's say first one has a ID one, second, and it has a name. Let's say that the name is Pocket Tanks game. Okay. So if my first project, let's say, was or if I remember, first I made a game in my first year of college that was a screen saver game. Like there were balls that kept on colliding. So I made it in C++. So I will say that the language was C++. And also I will show you, I will also show the description of the project. Let us say that the description is, and to make it neat, I will indent this dictionary properly. It is like a key value pair. For every project, we have some data, right? So we are just writing that currently. Yeah, and then the description is screensaver game, or let's say screensaver of balls screensaver. So displays random balls and terrain in 3D which can collide. And let's say then I have a URL of my project. So I do not remember, I have this on my GitHub, but I can for now just say that some random URL. So if you want, I can just find that and paste that, but let's not do that. And then I have, let's say, my second project. That was maybe I made a AC circuit solver that simply takes a circuit as input and solves it. I also made this in the C++, but I used a library that was for the matrix computations. So my languages could also be an array. Let's say that languages is also array. Languages, and let's say then we have another thing that is additional libraries. So currently it is empty. So let's say that here the languages is only this. Additional libraries we have. Here we used a matrix computation library to solve the equations. Description is, and some SVG computation libraries. So we also displayed the circuit. So given circuit as a text file input, render it on HTML page, and also show the, so I will have to go to multi-line over here. Also show the current and voltage values. Okay, so this was my second project. So I have some more projects, but I'll not list more of them. I'll just keep it to 2. Right. Currently, we are just giving the data ourselves. So this data will be used and it will be displayed over to the HTML page. So that will be a dynamic content because it is going from our backend. So since it is going into multiple lines, so in Python, we can make multi-line strings in triple quotes, multi-line strings. Right, we are going to multiple lines. Okay. Does that answer your question, Isha? Siddharth, are you also clear? Okay. So now we have all of these projects. Now we want this data to be passed and displayed in the template, right? So how can we do that? So now we will see how we can render a particular template. Here we are returning a HTTP response. In that case, what we have to do, we first have to define a template. So how we are going to do that? So what we will do, we make a folder inside our project that simply is templates folder. And inside that we make the name of the app. Let's say my projects. And now here we will make the, let us say the home.html. It will show me all the projects. So my home page will going to list all the projects. Colon after this. Okay, sorry. Thanks, Isha and Devendra. Now I'll just start with a simple HTML app. So what I'm going to do is, wait. I'll use the boilerplate here. Fine. And let us say that this is the title of our app. Now here we want to show all the projects. So what we will want to be doing, we want to simply loop over all the projects. And first let us make a div which is simply our project's title. Let us say we want to make a first block. Ion, it will be clear in some time. So then we have, let us say I first give my heading, and inside center I write down my projects. Okay. And now what I want to do is inside this HTML file. So now I have made a HTML file which is a template, right? Now this template will get rendered. It will also have some dynamic content that will be fetched from this projects variable. So we somehow have to pass this, right? So we'll see that. First let us complete our template. So it could be something like for project in projects. Now how this project variable will come, we will see this in a moment. And here we will simply have to end the for loop. Okay. And these are the HTML comments, right? Everybody following till this point? So I will just comment this also. And then first of all, what we will be doing is we will be showing at least this much part to our home page. Okay. So yeah, I'll repeat the part again. So first of all, what we have done is, so we are trying to code the templates. I will write down these steps. First, we have defined our projects in the projects variable, the views.py. Okay. Now second is we want to create a templates directory where we will be keeping our template. So what we did, we went inside this project. We created a templates folder, and inside that templates folder there is my projects folder. Okay. So I will also add a bookmark here. So Siddharth and everybody, see, I'll just repeat. I'll open a new terminal maybe. Okay. Yeah. So by doing this plus, you can open new terminals over here, right? And you can shift between these terminals, right? Like I have two terminals currently open. One is for the server, one is the current server. I'll go inside this, my projects, and I will say ls. Wait, I'll go back, I'll press ls. So inside templates, if you see inside the templates, I will have my projects, which is the name of the app. So then inside this, I will have the template, which is home.html. So I simply created templates slash app name slash template name dot html, right? Templates is the folder name, then we have the app name, then we have the home.html, as you can see on the right side. Does it make sense? So we are keeping this structure just so that we know that these templates are for this app. If our project has multiple apps, it will be easier to track. easier to maintain the code. So once you build an application, it becomes so vast, like the code base becomes so huge. So that's why we need to have a structure. Okay. Should I wait for any questions or can I proceed to the next steps? How we are going to implement this end to end? I'll just wait for 2 minutes. 2 minutes break. 2 minutes break. I'll also get some water. My water bottle is empty. I'm feeling thirsty. May I request you all? So Ayan, you can have all the templates in the same folder, right? You can have all your templates in the same folder as well, but we are keeping template slash app name slash file name, right? So that to keep it structured. So you can take a look. Okay, so Ayan has a question. संबित home.html में we will be मतलब उसके अंदर हम लोग जो टेम्पलेट जो रेंडर करना वो उसके अंदर लिखेंगे, right? So we'll be writing the template that we want to render inside the home.html. Ayan, we are not using that particular structure because this particular structure will make sure that we have all our templates in one place, right? So basically we will also need to tell Django where can I find all my templates. So Django has a settings configuration where we need to tell where can we find the templates. So that's why this structure will make the things easier. Also, everybody is here, or those of you who are still here, can you react with a yes? Okay. So I'll launch a short quiz. I'll launch a very short quiz just to see if you people are following the things. Very simple quiz. So I think all the 100% students who are attending the class should answer this. All the 38 people should answer this correctly. So today looks like all the boys are leading. We don't have Isha and other people here. Roshan is leading in the quiz. I'll launch one more short quiz. So is it mandatory to always use an end tag with a for loop? What do you think intuitively? Hmm. Anurag, because if we do not know where to end the loop, how will the next part start, right? We, like in any C++, Python, any language, we have a start of the loop and we have an end of the loop, right? So here also we need to mark that ourselves, right? Okay, so now let's come back with a short break that we have had and some time pass. So now we want to continue and focus, right? There could be conditionals. So all of you now please focus here. This is the most important part. Here you need to tell Django where it can find templates. It can find your templates. So for that, we go inside the project settings. We go inside, we go inside the portfolio project. And here we have a settings.py. Here you can see there is a base directory defined for us, right? And we can build paths inside the project like this, base directory slash subdirectory. So we have a templates variable over here that tells us where the templates are located and what backend is being used for template. Like currently we are using the Django template engine. There are multiple template engines. Any external template engine can also be used inside Django. So we will be using the same, but let's give the path. So the path is base directory slash templates, right? Because base directory refers to the project directory, that is this portfolio. Inside this there is a templates folder. There you have to look for the templates, right? So does this make sense to all of you? And this slash is automatically like it's automatically what we call as overwritten, so that this will combine with the templates path, right? Here it was mentioned that build paths like this, right? So this slash is already like it concatenates the paths automatically. Okay, so I'll just repeat this part. And what I'm saying is you need to tell Django where can it find your templates. So now this slash operator, it is overloaded. So it is a overloaded operator. That means like if you have two strings, or let's say if you have two objects, you want to say like s1 plus s2 as s1 s2, right? So that means this plus operator does the job of concatenation. Similarly, this slash operator here in Django does the job of combining the two paths. Like the path of templates is inside portfolio, inside the templates, right? So that is the directory where the templates can be found, right? So I hope that makes sense. Okay, so Roshan is saying, shouldn't we use os.path.join? Yes, that is a good choice that you use this. So we can do that also. I will tell that method also. So you can also say template dir is os.path.join space dir templates. It will do that for us, and we have to import the operating system module, since this slash could be different on Windows and OS. So now we can simply say template dir. I have just commented the above. We can use the template dir. So those of you who did not understand that point, what Roshan was saying, what Roshan was saying that, okay, settings.py is located inside the project, inside the portfolio project. We have settings.py. Now, what Roshan was saying is, wait, I'm getting some notifications. I'll turn that off. That we can define this template directory as os path join. So this is a os module provided in Python that allows to join two paths. So this will result in the same thing, base dir slash templates, right? Now, what he was saying, sorry, that this slash could be this thing in the Windows, right? So this join method handles that case for us, right? And I think even the slash might have worked, like it's being done in other places also in this. I think that should not have been an issue. So is this part clear to all of you? We can go with this for now. We can go with this for now. And I'll just put a comma here. We can go with what we discussed earlier. If you didn't get the OS part, you can skip it. It's not required actually. So now the second part is done, where Django can find the templates. Now fourth part is simply connecting these things, connecting the template to the app. So for that, we have to simply return and render the, we have to simply render with the request the template name, that is the first app or the my portfolio or my projects app name slash the template name, that is home.html, and then we have to provide some context, right? So this context simply will give the variables, which variable we are passing. So it is generally a dictionary that we pass here that contains multiple variables, that contains key value pairs. So if you didn't get this part in one shot, it's okay. We will code this and then it will be clear. Yes, Isha, exactly. And Sambit, which part is not clear? Let's get to this in a moment when we write this in the code. Okay, so I'll assume that it's all fine now. So let us see this thing, how we are connecting this and how we will be passing the variables. So we have to pass the variables that we want to be inserted in our template, right? We want them to insert, the template has some placeholders where those variables could fit in. So we have to pass this when we will be rendering the view, right? So we go to the view file, that is the my projects slash views.py. and then we simply have to render the template with the context. Context simply will stores the variables that we want to be inserted. So there is a mosquito over here. Okay. So let us see this in a moment. Let's go inside the views and let's say return. Now what I'm going to say is let's define def projects, takes the request, it simply returns, and we also have to do render, right? So now from where do we import this render method? It's already imported from Django shortcuts, right? We can say we want to render for this request, this particular template, my projects slash home.html. So render the home.html template for the request with the projects variable. The third one is the context, which is projects here, right? So now we will be getting all these variables, or sorry, all these projects, but we have to pass in a dictionary here, right? We have to say projects and then this, right? We cannot pass a list here, we have to pass a dictionary here. This has a key and a value, right? Now we can access any of the keys in the template. So we can access all these projects in the template right now. I'll show you how that's happening. So we go inside the template. We now have a loop over project. For the project in the projects, let me give some other name here. Let's give my projects, right? This is the key and this is the value. For project in my projects, we can simply say now display the project name. So let's say h2 center project name, project.name. So with the dot keyword, we can access the particular value. So for a given project, you are accessing this name key, right? So you can say project.name. So this is the iterator variable for the loop, and this is the value we are accessing. Now let us try to run this and see if it's working. Okay, so first let us run this and then understand. So error, the port is all okay, the server is already running. So now we have to first of all make this view available, right? This projects view. So let me give it home view, right? Def home. So I will go into the URL and say that go to views.home, name it as home. Now if we go and see, so you can see that you are able to see all of your projects here. Isn't that interesting? You are able to see all of your projects over here. Okay, confused. I definitely understand that most of you will be confused because there are a lot of variables involved. Okay, let us go back one step at a time and try to see how it's working. Okay. So strange enough. Give me one moment. I'll show you the code. Just take a look at the code once. Okay. So and then tell me what parts are not clear. I know a lot of it won't be clear, but let us go one by one. Okay, Shreya is saying what is context? So the context is all the variables that you want to be passed. So context has to be a dictionary. storing the variables to be passed to the template. So it contains the my projects variable. So my projects is a key that will contain the value from this variable that we have defined over here, right? So we have defined this projects variable, right? And this contains all the data that we need. Now this data is passed to the my projects key, right? Inside this context. So I'll just move this to the right so that you can see it in one go. Okay, settings.py part Sambit, if you did not get that part, we can discuss later because that's just setting the templates directory. The current part that we are discussing is more important because here you are actually connecting the two. So I'll repeat that in the doubts part, right? Before that, let's first understand this. We have this context part. Is this context part clear that now this variable, this my projects will be accessible in your template, right? So now wherever you will be typing my projects, it will be containing this value, right? To be containing this value, you just have to give the name of the key, right? Key in the context is my projects, right? So I will upload today's code to GitHub and I will be sharing the link with you. So if you do not write the code side by side with me, just listen carefully first, right? You can look at the code later. So now let's see one by one. So first of all, we defined the project URLs for the app. This URL goes to views.home. In the home, we are simply rendering for the request this template, right? So now how does Django understand that where is this stored? So that's why we gave the path in the dirs that in this templates folder you can find all the templates, right? So now inside this the template is there. We are passing this dictionary. The my projects variable will be fetched. So with my projects you will be able to access all this data that we have, right? So now if you say for project in my projects, or let's say for p in my projects, you can simply access with any variable. This is just a loop variable, right? So that's how you got all your projects, right? So that's how you can write template to render dynamic content. Does that make some sort of sense now? Yes, name of the key could be anything. So name of the key could be anything. So I can simply say here, name of the key, let's say that all projects, all my projects. So now I will have to change this to all my projects. Otherwise it will give me an error. It does not show the projects. It will give me an error because this variable is not defined. So I'll have to say all my projects. Now it will work, right? Awesome. So okay, with this we got some base understanding of how we can see the dynamic content on a web page. Now if I want to add any project, I can simply add a new project here. In the next sessions we'll be learning how to interact with the database. Let us say that my third project was a pocket tanks game. Also I have built earlier in JavaScript. We use some sort of canvas libraries over there. So it was fully working. Right. So now we have inserted this. Now if I just refresh it, so I will be able to see Pocket Tanks game has come, right? So now you need not change your HTML code, only you need to change your data. So that's how the power of templates is, right? Now do you appreciate why we need templates? Just take a moment to think over it and just take a moment to look at this code. So your assignment will be slight challenging apart from this, little bit more challenging. But before that, we'll discuss few more things. Okay, so now we'll discuss one more concept that is known as relative URL. So let's say now I want anybody can click on this project and can see the details of this project, right? So anybody can click here and see the details of this project. So how can we do that? Yes, similar naming of variables is confusing. I understand that, Anurag, but once you read the code, once you make this yourself, then it will be all clear. So Isha, let us just finish one more concept, that is the relative URLs and going inside each of these apps. I think that will be very simple. Okay, so let us quickly discuss that. Right, it will use the dynamic content, dynamic routing. So let us say we have one more template that is for a given project. I will simply copy this and paste this. Okay, I'll just make a copy by going inside this. I can say cp home.html project.html. So this will be template for a single project, right? So now what I will do is I will change the title to project and the name of the project. So let us say that name, project name. So this will be a variable that will be passed, right? So we also need to pass the variables project name in the context, right? Now let us change this title also to project name. And then what we are going to do is we are simply going to display all the details of the project. We don't have any loop now. We have what all things we have. One more concept here, that you can write comments in your this engine using this percent hash, sorry, this curly brace hash curly brace. This is a comment. And let us say now what we want is we want the details. So let's say first we want the project description. So we'll be having a variable that will be, let's say, so what we will pass the project details, and inside that we will have, let's say, project details dot description. Then we have few more things: additional libraries, languages, URL. Okay, so let us loop over languages. So we can say, and also we need a heading, right? And let's have a p tag. Change this to HTML. And then we need languages. So then we will have to loop over the languages. So we can simply say for lang in project details dot languages, and then we will simply be displaying the details, right? And then we have to end the loop. Okay, so we can say end for. Here we will simply show the language. This is the variable, and this project details is being passed in the context and this project name also. So now let us make a view for this. So we will have a view that will return a given project. So def project, it will have a request and the ID of the project, right? Then you will have to find the project with this particular ID. So for this, what you can do, you can simply loop over this projects variable and find the one which matches, right? So you can simply say project details is first of all empty. Then you can say for project P in the projects if project dot id equals id, then we can simply say project details is equal to prj. And we also need the name of the project, right? So let's say the name is here. We can say now name is equal to prj.name, right? And then finally we can return render request my projects slash project.html. Here we will pass the context, which is going to be, you need a project name that is simply name, and you need the project details that is simply the same variable here, right? Project details only. Okay, so I can use same. Okay, so this is how we have passed all the required data. We first fetched the required data and then passed it. So I know this was a little quick. I will repeat this again. But this is the logic. This is the Python logic, just like the logic you write in any other language. So what you are doing is you have your details. You first loop over the projects. If the ID matches, you simply say that this is my project and this is my name of the project. And then you simply return all of this. First, let's see it in action, and then we will go through this once again. Now, if you see, we also need to define a URL for this. Let us define it. So the URL will be slash project slash. Here we will be passing an ID, which will be an integer, right? So we can also specify the type here. Then let us say views.project, and let's say the name is, okay. So this is how we have defined this path. Let's give a slash here also. First, let's see if it's working, and then we will try to connect the URLs also, right? So let us say slash project slash one. So it says that it could not find, okay, we have slash project, not slash projects. Didn't match any of these. Okay, so I will give a slash again. Interesting. So it also did not match. Let's see what is the error. So we have a views dot project here. Let me remove this slash maybe. And we are connecting this. We have my project slash project dot html. Okay. Slash. So it could not get the home. It goes inside this.
Mhm. That is how we pass the ID, right? We say int and then ID. Let me try it this way. I'll just pass the ID and I will convert that inside to an integer. Let us say that ID is equal to int of ID, right? Now let's try to see if it works. Okay. Still it does not work. Let us recollect how we built a dynamic URL in our previous project. So we had this app. Here we had this URLs, right? Okay, I'll just do one thing. Give me 1 minute. I'll just check what is the issue here. Hmm, Name is actually taking in both. Okay. So it looks like we have defined this thing correct. Let me remove this name maybe. We have the views. Okay, I got the issue. So what we were doing is simple issue. The issue here is we have implemented this inside my project URLs. Okay. Where are you saying there is a typo in the function? Where exactly? Remove O in the if condition. Okay, this one you are saying. Interesting. Let's see if it works. Not found. So it's not able to find this slash project. Let me remove this slash now and then we will see. I think that first slash was the issue. Right. So this was the issue exactly, and dict has no attribute ID. So now we want to see if the dictionary has an attribute ID. It has indeed for prj in projects if prj dot id equals id. Okay. So the issue was we had put a slash in the before, right? We did not do that. So make sure you do not put anything incorrect in your URL, right? That's the learning here again. So here it's saying that it does not have ID. I'll check it in this way, right? Has no attribute name. Okay, so again, like to access all these things in the backend, you have to use the dictionary accessing, right? That we discussed. So now you are able to see the description and the languages, but the data is not coming, right? And you are able to see the name of the project, but the data is not coming, right? So why is that? So we are accessing the project details dot description. Okay, so in the project details we have the project, in that we have the description. Okay, it is capital D, right? And it is capital L, so we have to follow that. We have to say capital D here, and here also we have to say capital L. Make sure the variables are also correct, right? So now if you see, you will be able to see the details of all your projects. So it looks like in second and third project the languages are missing. Okay, it should be S here, right? So now it's all working fine, right? Awesome. So now one more thing we will be doing is we will be connecting these links. So we'll be using a URL tag So this is the last thing. I know all of you are feeling exhausted, but we have built a almost a very nice app till now, and your project will be even more interesting. You have some more additional things to learn. So let us just do one more thing, that is, let us connect these in the main page. So which tag we will be using to add a link over here? Which tag we will be using? Okay, a tag, anchor tag. Awesome. So I'll launch a short quiz. Okay, I do not have any quiz. So you are lucky then. Just one moment. So now what we want to do is we want to link this. So I'll show you one way. Inside this, we want a URL for every project's name, right? So here we will also have an anchor tag, and that maybe takes the name. Now we need to give some URL here, right? So if I say slash projects slash one, and if I close it, if I now refresh the page, what will happen? So will each of me take to the first project only? Let me remove this. Each of one will take me to the first project only, right? How do I go inside a given project? Any ideas? What variable can we use? Roshan says we can use the ID. Anurag, Sambit. So what we can use is we can say slash project slash. Can we say here prj.id? What do you think? Will this work? React with a yes if you think it will work. Anurag says yes. React with yes if it will work. React with no if it won't. So we are almost at the end of the session. Now please show some energy. We are using the plus operator. So let's see if it works. It goes to the first one, it goes to the second one, it goes to the third one. Luckily it worked, right? All of you are wrong. Some of you are correct. So we can use the variables inside also. That works, right? Okay. But there is a URL tag also. Shreya is joy emoji, right? So there is a URL tag also that you can try exploring. So I will share some reference for that, the URL tag that also allows us to do the same thing and in a more elegant way, right? Okay, so now I stop here at this point. I will not exceed. I'll just take you through the assignment that you have to do. You might have to read documentation for some parts in the assignment, but it's almost the similar app. Yes. So URL tag, you can try exploring once in the documentation. It's just going to do the same thing for you. Okay. So like most people don't understand in the last 10-15 minutes of the class. That's why we will not touch any new thing now. Now we will take the doubts and go through the assignment that you have to do. Does that sound okay to all of you? Okay. There is one more concept known as template inheritance that is also very similar. Relative URLs and template inheritance I'm skipping for now, and there are a few more things. So I'll be sharing the documentation. If you will be needing them in your assignment, you can go through that once, right? Uh, Otherwise, we will start with these from the next session, right? From the next session, we'll briefly recap the things. I think you won't be needing them in your assignment. So I will just show you how your assignment would look like. I'll just run that and show it to you. Yes, I'll upload the code and the notes right after the class. Yes, Anurag. So that's how your assignment would look like. There will be playlists. Similar to projects, there is a playlist, and now you have to show all the details of the playlist, right? All the songs that are there in that playlist. So the logic might get slightly different, but it's almost similar, like projects and project details. So how many of you will be able to complete both the assignments? Both the Anurag say yes. Shresh says yes. Sambit says yes. Roshan Shreya says yes. What about other people? Arindam, Abhishek, Anirudh, Anshika, Anurag, Ayush, Bilal, Faraz, Garimela, Gaurav, Gurleen, Ganesh, Karthik, Manish, Mayank, Pratik, Kazi, Rahul, Roshan, Sambit, Shibham, Shreya, Sudipta, Sudhir, Siddharth, Snehil, Srinit, Sweta, Utkarsh, Sarthak, Shresht. So I have listed all of your names. So I'll just launch a quick poll. So will you be able to implement and connect the templates after going through the code that we have written that we'll be sharing? Awesome. So that's it from my side then. And Yogeshwar, you had asked some questions. Sambit and Yogeshwar. So passing URLs, what would happen if I have home and home? I think Yogeshwar, the URLs are not case sensitive. I'm not pretty sure about that. You can give it a try. And two dynamic arguments, how would the URL recognize it? I'm not sure exactly of two dynamic arguments, but just try this and explore this. So it's going to be an interesting exercise. You can ask me on Skiller chat, DM me. So all of you who face any issues in the assignments, we can have some sort of assignment hours to discuss any doubts you face. So I'll launch one more poll. So are you interested in some sort of office hours, like where anybody can join in at any time, like a specific duration, and can ask any doubts, can share their screen and show if they're facing any issues? Okay, so looks like all of you are interested. So we'll try to do this on Sunday if possible. So tomorrow you can try this, and we can keep this on Sunday at some time in after the afternoon, right? I think that should work for all of you. We can discuss any issues in your first assignment, second assignment, any doubts you have, anything you are not able to understand, right? We can pick anything there. uh, like it will be an open forum, anybody can join in and ask the questions. Awesome. So that's it from my side then. I'll take any other doubts if there are. So Sambit, there are these Django libraries, there are a lot of things provided, you can just explore the documentation. Okay, so I'm just starting the doubt session. In case anybody has any questions, they can stay back. Others can start working on their assignments. Good luck and have a happy weekend and enjoy. Thank you for attending. Take care, everybody. Bye bye. Thank you, everybody. No doubts, it seems. Okay, Sambit says, can you please unmute me? Sure, Sambit, I'll just unmute you. If anybody has any doubts, can stay back. Acha, Anurag has exams. All
हेलो
the
सर.
best exams, Anurag. Yeah, hello, Sambit.
सर वो थोड़ा बहुत टेम्पलेट का जो सेटिंग्स डॉट पीआई में आपने किया वो पार्ट थोड़ा समझा दीजिए, मेरा डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया था.
अच्छा अच्छा, ओके ओके, मैं एक बार फिर से बता देता हूँ. So उसमें basically what we were saying is we want to know where the, like how will Django know where the templates are stored, right? So we want to specify this path, like here when we are returning we are passing this HTML file template name. So how will Django know where to find it, right? So that's why in these settings there is a templates uh, list which has a dictionary. It stores the directory for the templates. So मतलब यहाँ पे हम लोग बताते हैं कि इस लोकेशन पे टेम्पलेट्स हैं, तो जो भी टेम्पलेट हम रेंडर करेंगे वो यहाँ से यहाँ पे सर्च होंगी इस वाले फोल्डर में. So like did you get, like this is the path where the templates will get searched for.
ओके ओके सर, बट सर वो जो बेस डॉट डी आई आर हैश टेम्पलेट्स आ रहा है, वो टेम्पलेट्स का हम लोग जो एक फोल्डर बनाया था वो वाला ही टेम्पलेट्स है.
हाँ, because base dir refers to this project.
ओके सर.
Base dir refers to this project, and then inside this we have templates, right?
ओके ओके सर.
Fine. So I think that's good enough. Any other doubts, Samit? नहीं.
सर एक बार से
अच्छा,
ट्राई करूंगा फिर.
हाँ हाँ, ओके ओके, ठीक है, बढ़िया. चलो then all of you, then anybody else has any doubts, I can unmute you and we can discuss that maybe. Then okay, then it seems all of you want to take some rest. So good night, all of you. Take care. Have a happy weekend. Bye bye.